Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ditone, here to bring you a cast. It's going to be a replay coming out of the Rapture Gaming Network League 2013 to 2014. It's 12 teams from Southeast Asia, well, all of Asia in general. A couple Chinese teams thrown in here, competing for, I believe, 10,000 Sing dollars. So, quite a bit of money. It's going to be going on for a long time, though. Games are played once a week, I believe 2 days, 6 games total. It starts as a massive group. So you can go ahead and bring up the tournament information real quick. It's a giant group stage, as we see here, that will be going into a seeded playoff with the top 6 teams, between the playoffs, semifinals, and then eventually the finals. So it's going to be going on for a long time, though, because games are only once a week. But let's go ahead and jump into the draft. That's already underway. We have TongFu going up against Orange Neolution Esports. TongFu, a direct invite to TI3 after LGD had its little mix-up with Long DD. I believe who returned to the team as a coach instead of as an active player. DD who was technically retired, but then decided to come back, considering the fact that LGD China is going through the Eastern qualifiers. And DD, just such a phenomenal player. Can't really fault him for wanting to come back and doing a little bit more of the Dota action. Then we have Orange. Orange is, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I'm always entertained by Orange. Mushi, one of the better players out of Southeast Asia. At KYXY, or Extinct and Net, one of the best roaming supports combinations I've seen. Then we've got Ohio, just, oh god, from the old MUFC, one of the better players. There's a Dota 1 match he played during the Pinoy, during a Pinoy tournament, where he went godlike with Shadow Shaman in mid, and it was just one of like the most beautiful moments I've seen in KYXY. Just a great offlaner. But let's go ahead and jump into this draft. It's already underway, going pretty fast. We've got a Darkseer ban and a Shadow Demon ban coming out from TongFu, and Orange banning out the Batrider and the Lifestealer. Leaves a Magnus in the pool, which TongFu's going to go ahead and first pick, and a Gyrocopter and a Nyx Assassin that Orange is going to go ahead and also pick up. I wouldn't be surprised to see this as a support gyro combined with that Nyx Assassin. Makes it so the rocket is a little bit more reliable. Not sure if it'll happen, but it would be interesting to say the least. Then a Lone Druid still in the pool, so TongFu's going to pick that up. Most likely going to be running an aggressive tri-lane with the Lone Druid on the easy lane. And Lestrak is the start of that. And then the Clockwork pickup from Orange, just one of these one of these offlaners that has just been having such a huge splash in the Eastern scene and starting to make his way into the Western scene. Roxkiss playing it amazing during the West qualifiers. I believe it's Roxkiss. I don't know. Then so many games over the last week or so, losing track a little bit. But yeah, also fantastic going up against mid. Starting to be considered one of the counters to Magnus. Magnus just can't get a proper skewer in as he gets disrupted by those cogs, and the fact that Clockwork can just spam out those flares to disrupt the blink in. It's just great in general. Then we're going to see a Rubik and a Quap ban. Rubik, just a solid support in general, also can steal RP. So don't want to any TongFu doesn't want to have any of that shenanigans going on. So they're going to go ahead, just go ahead and ban that out. Also banning out the Quap. I guess they're thinking the Clockwork's going to be in the long lane. Quap, a hero that gives Magnus quite a bit of trouble with that level 2 Shadow Strike, can constantly keep it on and just keep the Magnus away from the creeps in general, making him rely on Shockwave just for farming instead of also harassing. We see the Silencer ban out of Orange, realizing, you know what, either they're not running it or they don't want to run it. But it just does a ton of damage. I'm not sure what they think. I have a feeling they think it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane. Just Silencer does a ton of damage, and we've seen LGD, China, and IG running him in the 4 position. in aggressive and non-aggressive tri-lanes, just because the sheer amount of damage he does is insane, and the fact that he gets that permanent insta-steal does a ton for heroes with low mana pools, and just all of a sudden losing 6 int means a lot more than you'd think. I mean, it's quite a bit of mana, so you can't fault it. We also have a Sand King ban out. One of the better setups for Leshrac for an aggressive and non-aggressive tri-lane. Just the fact the roaming combo is very, very strong. A ton of burst damage coming out of that combination. TongFu probably just going to go ahead and ban out, I guess, a Mushi hero. I'm still thinking that Gyro is going to be support. Also, let me just make sure my audio settings aren't crazy. I know they can every once in a while, so I just want to make sure that they are at the proper levels. Okay, they're good. And it is going to be TA, another hero that gives Madness quite a bit of problems. And when TA can't get punished in lane, she just gets very crazy very quickly. We've been seeing Snake King from Dignitas playing him very well, or playing her very well recently. Just blinking or getting a blink dagger and just going literally everywhere and just saying, you know what, doesn't matter, I do a lot of damage. I'm gonna kill you before you can actually do anything. And the Wisp ban out. This has been very common in the Eastern scene now. A lot of these teams, especially Chinese teams, picking up Wisp in the second ban phase, not making it into the first round like a lot of Western teams like to do, but that second phase seems to be its place right now. I guess Orange not thinking there's going to be the aggressive trail lane. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Chikiro come out from TongFu. That RP into the Split Earth, into the Ice Path is just so much stun, and it would work really well in the aggressive trail lane. Ice Path, not the most reliable stun, but is a setup stun for a Leshrac. It's much easier to land than Leshrac's stun, especially when Leshrac's stun is still only level 1 or 2. And it is going to be a Keeper of the Light. I can't believe I kind of forgot about him. But Keeper of the Light, I'm not sure about him against a Clockwork. Clockwork, one of these heroes that can just get into a fight and negate the range of a lot of heroes. What makes Keeper of the Light so strong is Illuminate has such a long range that he can stand as far back as he could ever want and just blast Illuminates constantly, very, very safely. He also works great in tri-lanes. I mean, if they're going to run a defensive tri-lane, one of the best, if not the best, for defending that lane from aggressive tri-lanes. Pretty much, if he's going against a tri-lane in general, at level 2 Illuminate, he gets 6 seconds, or it's a potential 600 damage, because each channel second, it's 100 damage. It starts at 2, it's 3 targets, 600 damage. Then you minus magic resist, but different for each hero, so detailed complication. But now we have Alina. It's going to be Alina, Nyx Assassin, and maybe that, actually, yeah, that will be a Mushi Gyrocopter then. So, I still am having very big internal ooh, Chaos Knight. I think Orange nailed it with that Wisp ban right now. We're going to go for the Chaos Knight anyways. Keeper of the Light, going to be setting up mana for the Chaos Knight. Are going to be giving mana to the Chaos Knight, who then can get his full combo off reliably, and Leshrac will be able to follow up with a very strong stun and additional damage. So a very, very potent tri-lane coming out from the side of TongFu. Chaos Knight kind of is like this Juggernaut role right now, where a lot of teams are using Juggernaut very successfully, where he kind of just is this strong melee damage presence in these aggressive tri-lanes, where he just contributes a lot of damage and is just kind of this frontline force to be dealt with, and is very hard to deal with. In Juggernaut's case, even though he does have a lower HP pool, he has that spin that gives him the magic immunity. In Chaos Knight's case, he has a ton of base damage, ton of strength growth, or a ton of starting strength, and so he's just tanky. There's no other way to just put it. He's just really tanky. So we're going to be looking at Orange's last pick. It'll either be an offlaner to go in the 1v1 against that lone druid. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a Windrunner. Oh no, it's actually a mid-Windrunner. Alright, I like this quite a bit. It's going to be a mid-Windrunner played by Ogor, also known as Ohio. And then we've got Net on the Nyx Assassin. That means Extinct will be playing Lena. I wouldn't call it signature, but I've seen him run it quite a few times, especially comboed with the Sand King. It is terrifying. I mean, Net and Extinct just have this great communication between the two of them, and every time I watch them, they're just, I mean, they just bring their A game, and it's fun to watch. I love watching some good roaming supports. It means KYXY will be playing on that Clockwork. Going to be going into that 1v1 matchup against King J's Lone Druid, and Mushi will be farming on the Gyrocopter. If you watched the last game, I really do hope he plays better than Mineski's Gyrocopter. Drats. The one main problem that I've always faced in every game. Smooth drag! It exists. There we go. And actually, most of my FPS problems have fixed. Yay! And we've got 2 DCs out of that TongFu. But it gives me time to go over who's playing what. We've got King J on the Lone Druid. We've got Mu playing on his Magnus. We've got Hao on the Chaos Knight. And we've got San Shang on the Keeper of the Light. And we've got Banana playing on that Lishrak with the Crazy Horns. On the side of Orange, we have Ogor or Mushi playing, or not Mushi, Ohio on the Windrunner. Could be going mid, could be going offlane. Wouldn't be surprised to see him offlane. We've got KYXY, no items, but once again, mid or offlane. We've got Net and Extinct playing on the Nyx Assassin and the Lena respectively. And we've got Mushi on that Gyrocopter. So guys, this is... all these games are best of ones. This is part of a greater group stage that exists. So let me just bring it up real quick. Just for those of you who don't know, it is a giant group stage. 12 teams total. Top 6 will go ahead and go into the seeded playoffs. Third playing 6th and fourth playing 5th. Which then will be playing first and second. Winner of those games will be playing first and second respectively, which will then be fed into the finals. Loser of that will drop down, play the third and fourth. One of those will decide who wins the potential $10,000 Sing grand prize. I will have to double check that number later because I don't know if that is entirely accurate. I can't remember if it's first or second that's 10,000, but either way, very large sum of money for people in the U.S. 10,000 Sing dollars is about, divided by 1.25, I want to say about like 8.6. Let's just call it $8.6 thousand for the U.S. Not bad at all, considering you're only playing one game a week. Throughout the first 11 weeks of the tournament. Yes, this is a very long-running tournament. Games are only played 2 days a week. Half the teams have 3 games played on Friday and 3 games played on Saturday, I believe, of each week, which will be going on for about the next 15 weeks or so, plus some breaks in between, especially for things like the International, which I'm super pumped for. So yeah, go home, host a giant international party, do all the fun stuff. But I'm going to abuse the fact that this is a replay, and crap. Let's see if I can do this right. We're gonna add a media file. I should really have this set up. Here, we're gonna have a nice picture of Koala right there. This is just gonna exist for a little bit. Why don't you go over where I need you to go? Oh, bad. And we're gonna go ahead and settings. Huh. Yeah. Do this over here. There we go. And this is just gonna go here, so I can change this, and you people don't get to see. But yeah, Actually, this turned out to be a rather long pause. So, see, this is the glory of casting from replays. Normally, I'd be having to fill for another minute and a half, another 2 minutes, another 3. See, now I can just count, and this is fantastic. So, counting is, in fact, what people... And now we have another DC. Ooh, one reconnect. Oh, another DC. Oh, another reconnect. So, that TongFu internet really showing its strides here. Power. And now we have everyone back in the game, and we can see how these lanes are going to go ahead and form. Let's get rid of this koala. I know you will miss him, but I mean, little sacrifices. Also, as I realize that this is just a tad too high up. Yay! Everything is fine in the world now. So we're going to see how these lanes are going to go ahead and form. We actually look like we're going to have an aggressive tri-lane coming out with Ohio, Extinct, and Nyx Assassin. I like this tri-lane. Very, very high stun potential, and if they're not... I mean, I wouldn't totally expect it either. So either they're going to send King J down onto the long lane to do a 1v1 against the Gyro, which the Gyro in the easy lane against King J will probably have an okay time. The Keeper, so holding on to some wards. And yeah, so this could be a really interesting lane. That would go ahead and put KYXY onto the mid Clockwork. I prefer Clockwork in the mid role. I feel like if he gets a ton of farm, he's scary in the offlane, but what he does is he hookshots in, starts the fight, and dies. That's his job. And it can win you team fights, yes. But imagine if you do that and live and then do more things. It's a fantastic idea. But actually, we're going to see a relatively big engagement down. Oh, actually, the first blood being taken by Orange manages to get the kill before what's his name goes ahead and falls, before Ohio dies. But Sansheng getting the second kill. Ooh, does it not miss? Oh, it misses, and Extinct will not be able to get that kill. And Sansheng on his horse, just being a slight bit faster than Lena, but Lena salves up and should be fine. Miss chance is not strong within him, and will actually go ahead and lose that salve. But a nice engagement to start with TongFu. Looks like they're going to be running the tri-lane up top, seeing the aggressive tri-lane. So this is going to have a ton of killing potential, not to mention that Keeper of the Light played by Sansheng. I guess I would say known by people for his amazing Keeper play at TI2. I think that was one of the crazy things that TongFu did really well at the Lost International. For people who didn't know, they were one of the, I would say, more underwhelming teams, but not one of the premier Chinese teams to show up at TI2, but still did a very nice job. Let's go ahead and check with Mushi down on the bottom lane, doing a very good job against King J so far. I do believe Gyro will come out on top in this matchup, but it is a lone druid, so as soon as 5 hits, anything can happen. It all depends on how much of the spirit of Admiral Bulldog is within you. And yeah, pause coming out. I believe King J is having some internet problems. Does the Koala need to come back? The Koala needs to come back. Alright, Koala's coming back. We're doing a little bit of fast forward while we wait for King J to reconnect. Sorry about this, guys. I didn't know that King J was going to have so many problems. The power of Mushi is too strong. Forces people's internets just to collapse before them. So we're just going to look at him for a little bit. Just look at the old man with his mustache. And the koala is there. I just want to make sure. Gonna thumbs up this game. Pause the video game. And he reconnects. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right on back into this game as if nothing happened. And the koala is gonna go away. Say goodbye to the koala. Anyways, gonna go ahead and get dewarded. They're gonna try and do the pulling. Stun comes out onto How, followed up by the Impale. Nice, doesn't even need the setup, though the Illuminate will go through, and will How go down again? No, it doesn't look like he'll be able to. Meanwhile, Clockwork actually does manage to pick him off with the Rocket Flare, so very well played out of him. They trade 1 for 1, but it's trading the Chaos Knight for the Nyx Assassin, so I believe it's a very nice trade coming out from Orange. Gonna be happy with that. An underfed Chaos Knight is one of the most underwhelming things in the entire world. He kind of just sits there. Meanwhile, Moose actually might die onto the bottom lane here. He's going to get cogsed up, but I mean, he's taking tower hits at the same time. Battery Assault is going to be there, but no! No, the Magnus does get the one extra last hit in and gets his Bottle Crowed in flown in right at the right time, able to get one charge off, and probably ended up saving his life. So very, very ballsy coming out outside of KYXY, and gets punished for it pretty hard, but Mushi gonna be equally as greedy, gonna get the Rocket Barrage on, but it's Mushi, he's gonna be able to get through fine. You thought that Toby was a freaking Navi fanboy? Welcome to Ditone Dodo, where we just worship Mushi as a lord and savior. But we can see Sansheng blasting up, use the Carapace, does a little damage right on back. So, personally like this instead of Mana Burn. A lot of support Nyxes will just go ahead and get the level in Mana Burn earlier on, just to kind of screw with the tri-lane. But the thing is, there's a Keeper of the Light, so Mana Burn, you're gonna be what? Use 130 mana to burn to do like. Point is, Chakra Magic just nullifies that, or you could view it as Mana Burn's nullifying Chakra Magic, but you're not burning really any mana off Chaos Knight. He only has 18 int, but look at that 72 damage. My goodness. My goodness gracious. Mushi's just having a fantastic time down here. And even though the kill score is in favor of TongFu, there is something we have to look at, which is the fact that the last hitting is just so much better coming out from the side of Orange. We see that Lone Druid is sitting at only 9 last hits, while Mushi is sitting at 25. And I think it's because he's going for this heavy Rocket Barrage build, which I really like. It's ballsy, and actually will just go ahead and miss the call down, but the thing is, he gets so much more burst out of this, and he can just burst down. Oh, actually, huge engagement. Chaos Knight goes down again, trading for the Nyx Assassin. Funny enough, again, but Ben just going ahead and getting his stun juked, and looks like just gonna get a little bit of the right click, going on. That's a level 4 Lena now. That's 2 levels in each of your spells, which makes it so her burst is now 320, which is quite a bit. And not to mention that Dragon Slave, only an 8-second cooldown. Light Strike Array, only 7 seconds, means much more of the spam ability going to be coming out. KYXY does have a double damage room. Gonna see if he can do some extra damage to Mu. Actually, those right clicks doing a ton of damage. 72 times 2 is much. But here's the thing. I like this quite a bit. This Max Rocket Barrage just means he's going to be able to do so much damage to the spare. You've got 23 damage. That's 230 damage? 230 damage on a 5-second cooldown. 10 rockets a second. No, it's more than that. Times 6. Or times 3. Where did I get 6 from? But 230 times 3. So that's 690 damage to the bear, who I believe doesn't have much, if at all, any magic resist. No magic resist whatsoever. See, one Rocket Barrage costs Mushi, what, 90 mana and a 5-second cooldown to do that much, to just take out an entire chunk of that bear's health. Just fantastic decision making coming out. I actually haven't seen this before, but I really like it so far. Net popping the Carapace, just doing the extra damage to the Keeper. Keeper actually pretty low. Could really benefit from some pooled regen, or a regen rune. But yeah, we're gonna see what Clockwork's doing. He's actually doing the maxing Rocket Flare. I prefer maxed Rocket Flare into the max Battery Assault just because the increased vision and the global presence that you have already, or just built into it. I personally prefer it to the maxing Cogs or the maxing of Battery Assault. Yeah, you can get maybe an increased kill, or a better chance at a kill on the Magnus, but I feel like having that global presence, actually we're going to see an Impale onto How, followed by the Light Strike away into the Shackle, and that is a very, very dead Chaos Knight. That's already 4 deaths on a Chaos Knight with only 16 last hits. This Chaos Knight is feeling very, very sad. He has a lower net worth than, I want to say a support, but still 400 higher net worth support. But these supports just doing a fantastic job. This combination, like I was saying during the draft stage, Extinct and Net, just terrifying to go against. Because they're just always going to find, I'm not going to say always find their kills, but they find their kills with great frequency. And they just know how to time their spells together, and they work in conjunction so well. But we have to look. King J is level 6. Yeah, he has died once now. Only has 17 last hits. And actually, cooldown is going to go off. Is he going to be able to do enough damage? Support rotates in. They are going to get the kill on Mushi, trading King J for it. So much better trade in their favor. And actually going to rotate this the Chaos Knight down to the bottom lane, which I think makes quite a bit of sense. I think King J will have a better chance going against this tri-lane than the Chaos Knight will, which is kind of silly to say, but the Lone Druid got up to 6, so he's got his true form, but that bear is just going to fall over in that tri-lane, so actually, no, he's still just going to go down. I think How and Banana are actually just looking for some sort of counter kill, some sort of retribution, because this tri-lane top is just dominating right now. Mid's traded pretty evenly. I believe Moo is a tad ahead because KYXY went for that ballsy play and got punished for it. Actually, I really like the new double damage effect. Just noticed that. Knew it was coming in the patch. Forgot the patch happened today. But yeah. See, this Ohio and his Windrunner are actually doing very well. 40 last hits, 2 kills, 1 death. Not the worst ever. And I believe he did die like very early on. He was one of the earlier deaths. I believe he died with the Sansheng double kill. It's pretty cute. They have the sentry up, but no one killed the ward. So just some creeps and some nibbling damage, but actually we see How gonna go ahead and get cogsed up. KYXY actually might go ahead and die here. Actually, just goes ahead and jumps right on in on Banana. We'll go ahead and still die to the Windrunner, and actually that's 3 dead for the side of TongFu, just for the Clockwork. That Clockwork had a pretty cheeky play there, using right as he was dying, just like, you know what, let's get a little stun, get a little bit of the setup for the Windrunner. And even though the Shackle was already there, it's just a little extra damage. And the Shackle does go down, and just another assist for him. So it's all sorts of goodness for him. It is a second death, so that's not positive. But the Magnus does go down. No RP used yet though. But still dies. It still means something. Meanwhile, Mushi. Not sure what he's gonna go for. Does he have anything like that? Nope. It is only 10 minutes in, so. Has 50 last hits, so not the best, not the worst. Actually, far from the worst. I'd say very decent. that's a good way of describing it. It is a very decent amount of last hits. Moo, still quite a bit off from his Blink Dagger, but understandable at 10 minutes. Shouldn't have anything too crazy out. Actually, Root coming out on a Mushi. Anything else gonna come? No, Net just gonna go ahead and use his Arcanes. Actually, Arcane's at 10 minutes on support. Actually, Hookshot in. Cooldown going to come off with the Cogs. King J is just going to die here. Nothing he can do. Mushi's Rocket Barrage doing a ton of damage. And they will probably be able to get this tower. I don't see any way that they're going to stop it. Limit goes off. KYXY doesn't have anything too special. Tower destroyed by the Radiant. It does give about 50 extra gold to the entire team total, but it would be better to have it directly on Mushi. He is going to go for that BKB right off the bat. I do approve of this. I mean, what do we got? We've got magic damage from Keeper, we've got magic damage from Listrak, we've got magic damage from the Chaos Knight, which is pretty much all he's worth right now. He is managing to find some CS up on top, so that will help him get back into this game, but 1 in 5 is just... it's just difficult. Oh, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, we've got another Lina kill. Onto the Listrak. I believe the Vendetta was probably used, I can only assume, to help set up for that Electric Wave Slave and the Laguna Blade. Mushi's going to go ahead and TP back to base. Just get his stuff. Actually, he has a bottle. Interesting. Don't know why he needs a bottle. I think it was because he was spamming that Rocket Barrage so much and taking the harassment from the bear. which would actually explain the amount of items he had. I thought he would have had that Ogre Club up earlier, but it doesn't make sense. Magnus is smoked up, just trying to make sure there's enough room for Chaos Knight to breathe up on that top lane. And see Clockwork, yeah, he is going to maxing Battery Assault next. We've got Moo, who's just kind of chilling up here. Actually, RP going to be used solo onto net. Hookshot up, but he didn't jump. Huh. Must have just been like an inch too short, but still, net tanks the solo RP with his face. Might be worth it, might not be worth it. We'll see in the long run. If another fight comes up shortly, then yeah, it won't be worth it. But in the meanwhile, it is just a nice, clean support pickoff. Probably because they realized they didn't have sentries and Vendetta was up. So he could have easily have just jumped into invis form, and then Vin's able to get out scot-free, and the smoke and the RP would have been wasted. So let's go ahead and just kind of examine the state of the game. See the gold going in Orange's favor, 13 minutes, 5k gold lead. Not impossible to recover from. 1 second.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Sorry about that. Looks like we had a pick off on that Magnus. Just hookshot use. Clean, easy kill. Battery Assault actually does an insane amount of damage when you can just solo out that single target. It doesn't happen too often in the mid lane. I personally like having the Rocket Flare max because you can actually clear out the creep wave pretty easily. Shackle not gonna hit, but or not gonna latch. Can't hit. But actually, how? Nope, will not be getting out. Actually, Sanshang's on a killing spree, killing off the Nyx Assassin with that blast. Didn't get the Carapace up in time. Probably could have. But that is going to be a kill onto the Chaos Knight, which I feel is the more important, and that is just an illusion that's going to get bonked pretty hard. But meanwhile, Shackle gonna latch, but Mushi just gonna, why do I keep thinking it's Mushi? Actually, because I think the last game I casted with Orange had Mushi on a Windrunner. Shackle on the bear. But anyways, Ohio getting out fine. We'll have to go back to the base, or go back to well to heal, but not the worst thing. Actually, ooh, hookshot onto an illusion. I think that's the same what they rocketed also, so must be very, very sad. Another illusion gonna have some spells wasted on him.
Dire's top tower.
And Mushi now only 900 gold off from his BKB. Power on the bear. That's what's scary. 15 minutes. Has the Helm of Iron Will, going to be working towards that armlet. I personally think it's a tad broken, and I think the bear should just have to deal with the degen. I think that just should happen. But yeah, actually, funny enough, same ward being put in the same spot. This ward's so good. It's hard not to have. And we just see this perfect vision coming out from the side of TongFu. Just this entire area. If there's ever going to be and I totally was looking on the wrong thing, but if there's ever going to be a fight in this area, they're going to know when it's coming, who's coming, and so on and so forth. But their wards are all expiring, so I have it for the next 10 seconds. See any stacking coming out from the side of Orange? Doesn't look like it. Just realizing that, yep, Mushi does manage to pick up his BKB, so he's feeling very confident right now. How just walks right over a sentry, so he should be able, so they'll know that more forces are coming besides just the Magnus. So it's gonna be battle coming up here. I'm not sure if they're gonna go for it. I personally think they should run, but I also have supervision. And actually, I wonder, we're gonna We're gonna put the koala back up for a second. Gotta love the koala. And we're gonna look at Radiant Fog. So, actually, they know that ward? Yeah. So this ward here is spotting not only Banana's rotation, but how walked over the ward, and they're seeing San Shang coming. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Oh sweet, no need for the koala anymore. Yeah, key bindings are fun. Bye bye koala. But yeah, so they see that Banana and How and San Shangs are all coming, so Ohio and KYXY should probably back off here, but they've actually got Net and Extinct on their way, so they might be able to take this. But it'd be a... It's gonna be a what? It's gonna be a 4-on-5 fight, and Mushi's back at base. Magnus actually is reconnected. So, this won't be the 40-minute pause from before, but... And by 40, I mean like 8. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get right on back, see what the decision is gonna be, whether they're gonna continue on move or not, and looks like, yep, they are just gonna back off. No fight's gonna happen. Oh, smart decision out of Orange, realizing, you know what, the kill would have been cool, but not worth it. RP is down. Actually, some crazy aggression coming out from Mushi. Getting a little too close. Almost got reality rifted back on him, but this Chaos Knight's level 8 at the 17-minute mark. This is just... I mean, he's a stun and a slight reposition, and that's it. And I don't know how that didn't launch. But anyways, Light Trigger away, and just everything just gets blown up all over that lone druid's face, and I think I missed a Lushrak kill, and I apologize about that. But yeah, I mean, this is how you play the Gyrocopter. You play him like a lone druid almost, where you just say, you know what, you don't go for the Shadow Blade first off. I think Shadow Blade is a little too gimmicky on him. What you do instead is you get the BKB, you get the extra damage out early, you just get the damage. You get the damage and you do it quickly. Shadow Blade, it's become a more cost-efficient item, but I still don't think it is the most cost-efficient item, or the most damage-efficient item. I like BKB as a necessity on him, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see either an MKB coming out next, or a Manta or a Butterfly. Those are the 3 options. I'm pretty sure he'll be going for Manta, because splitting out of the roots is very, very important. I still have it on Radiant Fog. I apologize. But how? I mean, he only has a Bracer and Power Treads. Mushi has a lot of things. King J doesn't have anything at all. It's almost 20 minutes, and all I really have is, oh my goodness, just all the damage. The Dragon Slave plus the power shot, perfectly lined up Shackle by Ohio. Just such a fantastic player in general. King J gonna get trapped in by the cogs along with Ohio, but I mean, Ohio just so much damage coming out of that Windrunner. Already has the mech up and phase boost. I mean, that's really all you need. Just the power that comes out of that Shackle shot and the max. I mean, the max Windrunner is cool because it's 30% slow. But in addition to the running at the speed of sound. But yeah, I mean, I just haven't felt the power of Mu in this game. Like, most of the time people are like, oh my god, we can't fight when RP's up, but I mean, that was just a triple kill coming out of Ohio, plus what else? And a Gyrocopter kill, so that was like a 4-for-nothing trade that Orange just managed to pick, and they got the T2 top. And there was no Magnus RP. There's nothing there. I just haven't felt his presence in this game. And I don't think Orange is too afraid about him right now. They're like, oh crap, we just spread out to a reasonable extent. And Clockwork has been able to get the jump on him. Even when RP's up, he's gotten the jump on the Magnus and either forced out an RP so he would survive, or he just fell over. So you see Mushi is going to be going for that Manta style. One of these nice hybrid items between offensive and defensive that tend to all stats include strength, so it includes a bit of health, not to mention the ton ton of damage that comes out from the Yasha. One of the more cost-effective items for agility carries in general. I personally like it even more because Gyrocopter's missing. One of the things as a carry that he's missing is an escape. So he's no AM. He's not doing the blinking or the leaping if he was a void, or just super running fast if he was a. Oh, actually, we're gonna see a smoke get revealed, and that's gonna get brought back in. But that spike carapace just makes it so hard for him to engage on. KYXY uses the hook shot to get onto the low ground via Extinct. Cogs actually block off most of his team. RP gonna be used solo on Mushi, but he has his BKB up, so it doesn't do any damage. And that's 2 heroes down for nothing. RP used, and what? Orange doesn't lose any health whatsoever, and King J might actually be going down on top of it. Ohio lining up for a perfect shackle. Now Wicked sick. Just very, very well played out of Ohio, proving why he's one of these premier Southeast Asian players, along with Ice, Mushi, and Yamate. Funny enough, all on the same 2 teams. But yeah, and actually, TongFu's just gonna go ahead and call GG. I mean, they're 14k gold behind, 12k plus EXP, and just the only one who has any sort of semblance of farm is actually the Keeper of the Light, who's 3-1-3. So well played out of Sanshang. Definitely if you're in the fantasy league that Dota Academy puts on, here to look out for, or a player to look out for, because he picks Keeper every game and does okay, which is a lot to say for support. Even though the Nyx Assassin was 3-5-15, and I believe Extinct was 4-0-9. Just God, Extinct, why are you so good? I don't understand it. I mean, sorry, fanboy moment there, but KYXY just doing things, just enjoying things. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and wait for the fountain to fall. Should be very shortly. But yeah. And there we go. That's the throne falling. We're gonna bring the score screen up for you guys very shortly. Very, very shortly. So congratulations to Orange taking this very nice win over TongFu. TongFu not performing nearly as well as I thought they would after TI2. I mean, they just kind of fell off the scene for a very long time and just haven't had any truly impressive results recently. Still got the TI3 direct invite though, so hopefully they'll do a little bit of boot camping and they'll be in top form in about 90 days. Anyways, my name's been Ditone. My name is Ditone, my husband, and this has been and I've just brought you this cast from the Rapture Gaming Network League 2013 to 2014. Make sure to check out all of the official replays over at youtube.com/Rapture Gaming. They do a fantastic job over there. Just feel like getting in my little slice of this awesome tournament. And I will be bringing to you 2 more casts tomorrow. But I'm done for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the VODs, just hit that subscribe or the like button. Much appreciated. You can find me on youtube.com/DitoneDota or on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/XCSDitone. Anyways, have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, dusk, whatever, and try and enjoy yourself today. See you soon.